One of the greatest gifts you can give a volunteer is the knowledge of their spiritual gift, the knowledge that they can be used greatly in the hands of our great God to do something with that deployment or that divine capacity that God has given them with their spiritual gift. And it will form them spiritually. It will thrill them as a human being. And it will fire them up to walk more closely with Christ the rest of their life. I don't ask the question around Willow, how few volunteers can we get away with? Terrible question in my view. I flip it completely the other way, and I say, I believe it is my responsibility to equip every single person in Willow Creek Community Church with the knowledge of their spiritual gift and with the opportunity for them to deploy it, because it's going to put them on a spiritual development track. It's going to form them more fully in Christ. And I can't tell you how meaningful it is to me. And I get a steady stream of this. Volunteers who say, you know, I got a job that I can tolerate. It pays the bills. What I get to do here at Willow is what I live for, and the thrill that I feel when God uses me as a leader in Promised Land, as a small group leader, as a singer, as a whatever. They say the greatest thrill in my life is to feel God use me as a volunteer around this church. I want every volunteer at Willow to walk around knowing what it's like to feel the thrill of God using them. Now, I'm going to be tough on you for just a second, because then I'm going to run off to a meeting while you have lunch. I'll come back. Some of you are still in ministry because you get that shot of adrenaline every 7 days of the thrill of God using your life. You give a message and you realize hearts change. You counsel with somebody and you save a marriage. You work with young people and they commit their lives to Christ. And you drive home and your heart's beating, you go to bed at night and you go, God used me. It's half the reason why you put up with all the hard stuff is because the regular injection of that thrill of knowing that the transcendent God of the universe is using your life. Yes? That's why we keep going, right? All right. Every volunteer in your church deserves that feeling. Every one of them. It would mean as much to them as it means to you. And for you as a pastor to go, hey, you know what? I don't want to mess with that. You're discounting the very thrill that keeps you going. So every time a volunteer walks by, the question you got to be asking is, have I spent time with this woman or man? Do they know their spiritual gift? Are they deploying it in a manner where they're getting the same thrill on a weekly basis as I get when I do my gift, when I demonstrate my gift? The guy who built, 3/4 of this whole campus, the chairman of our building committee for 22 years, Jan Rasmussen, one of my closest friends. And when I first challenged him to be the chairman of our building committee, he goes, I said, are you serving anywhere in the church? He goes, no. He goes, Bill, I can't preach like you preach. I can't sing like those singers sing. I can't do that ministry stuff. I said, Jan, what do you do well? He said, I can build stuff. I said, could you build buildings for God? He goes, Bill, if I could build buildings for God, that'd be like the greatest thing I could ever imagine in the world. And I said, we were in the movie theater at the time. I said, hey, Jan, someday we're going to build a building, I'll bet. Would you be the chairman of our building committee? Well, then he built a couple $100 million worth of buildings as a volunteer. Then he got a blood disease and died, okay? So the night before he dies, I'm over at his house. We're very close friends. And I knew the end was close. And he gives me a compass, a silver compass, very valuable. And on the back of it, he said, he had it engraved, "You set my life on course." And he goes, you allowed me to build buildings for God. It was the greatest thrill in my life. My company did well. I have a wonderful family. But you helped me build, you let me build buildings for God. I'm dying a happy man. Every volunteer has something that they can do that will give them that kind of thrill. It's your job to help every one of them find it. And when you have a church full of people who have that kind of thrill going on, they sing different. They love God different. They feel, like players instead of, just people who attend services and go home. It's one of the greatest feelings in life.